Good morning, everyone. Thank you for joining the session. I appreciate that. And we begin shortly. Good morning, everyone. Thank you for joining the session. I appreciate that. And we begin shortly. Good morning, everyone. Thank you for joining the session. I appreciate that. And we begin shortly. Good morning, everyone.
Good morning, everyone.
Thank you for joining the session. I appreciate that. And we begin shortly. Thank you all. We'll take a couple of minutes and then we start the session in a couple of minutes. Thank you all. Good morning. Thank you, everyone. Thank you for joining to our SAP MMWM introduction class. And we'll begin shortly. Thank you very much. We take a couple of minutes and then in a couple of minutes we start the session. Thank you, everyone. We take 30 more seconds. I hope you can all hear me. My voice coming to everyone. This is SAP Sales and Distribution introduction class. and we will begin shortly. Okay, so I think we can start now. Thank you all, and this is. I hope all of you can join and hear my session, come to my voice, and who we have on the calls. We have Krishna, we have Ashish, Komal, Rajesh, Ashu, Rohan, Ram, Sohel, Puneet, Anupam, Prabhakar, Priya, Bharat, Satish, Sayed, Phil, Madhav, Ram, Abil, and Teja. So thank you everyone. First of all, I really appreciate that. And here in this, basically, if you see that there is a question section. So during the session, anytime, if you have any questions, etc., so you're very welcome to ask me any questions as you might be having, and so that would be, and you can reach out to me for any questions, etc., which you might have. Okay. So thank you very much, uh, and I really appreciate that. Um, this is basically the class related to SAP Sales and Distribution, Logistic Execution plus S4HANA plus um, advanced topics. So that is the outline of the course which we do. Today's demo or introduction class is basically to introduce you all what is SAP Sales and Distribution module is about. So we can have a um, so that is basically what we will be discussing and talking about. Okay. This is my email address, dsad@mythinkly.com. This is my phone number, 973-885-7245. So you are very welcome to make a note of my phone number as well. You are very welcome to make a note of my email address as well. So thank you very much, and I really appreciate um, your taking time talking to us. So thank you very much. Um, this is my US number. So if you are outside of US, because you can also utilize the same number on WhatsApp as well, because this number is on the WhatsApp also. Now, why do we do this session? And so that is basically, um, and this is an introduction. So we are talking about all the different aspects of what is sales and distribution. So obviously the course is for many hours, many weeks. The objective of this course basically is to introduce you what is the sales and distribution module is, and providing an overview of SAP sales and distribution module. That is the objective of that class. So in this agenda for today, we will be discussing and talking about what is a SAP overview and fact sheet. We'll talk about SAP sales and distribution core processes and functions. So that is another thing which we'll talk about. Okay, and So that is another thing which we will be discussing, how the integration in SAP works. So there are different functions, different modules which are tightly integrated with each other. How does the configuration in SAP work? So we'll talk about that configuration as well. And then we will discuss and talk about various questions and answers. Now, in this session today, we will provide an overview and then also understand the core processes and functions in SAP, obviously at the high level, because in a 1 hour and 45 minutes and so which we have, it is not possible to provide any kind of, you can only do an overview, and that is the goal of this, you know, so that is what we will be doing. And then we can do integration in SAP, and then how do we do the various configuration aspects in SAP as well. Now, in this session, there is a question section here. So during the session, if you have any questions, etc., then you are very, very welcome um, to ask me any question which you might be having. Um, so that is basically what we will be discussing and talking in that. So related to any SAP related question, you're welcome to ask any SAP related question which you might be having. Again, thank you very much, and I welcome you to SAP session. I hope you can all hear me, my voice coming to you. And if you face any problem hearing me and all that, you can also highlight, and you can also put that on the conversation as well. Now, before we go any further, let me also briefly introduce myself. So I've been doing SAP past many years. Um, I was associate partner with IBM in US in New York. I was senior director with Accenture and Capgemini in New York. And these are the three primary companies I worked in US. Most of my professional experience. I do not work anywhere now. So after having worked for many, many years, I do not work anywhere now. I stopped working. And so now we have all these, these are some of the projects where I did SAP implementation in US and in Europe and India and Canada and various other countries where I did SAP implementation. Now I don't work. After having worked for many, many, many years, I don't work now. The reason I focus on you. So I'm available to you all 7 days. So anytime you have any questions, you can reach out to me. I used to do this working in the side and then doing this work. Um, it is not possible for me or any faculty for that matter, where you know you are giving a full attention to your student when you already have a full-time job. So I decided to focus on my student. So I'm available to you or any student any days, all 7 days. Now let's coming back to an overview and coming back to the SAP fact sheet. Okay. So what is SAP fact sheet? So what are the different aspects of SAP is? So I'm going to talk about that. So SAP is a German company established in 1972. Now that's very interesting because 1972, that basically means it's more than 5 decades. So that basically means from SAP perspective, it is a very, very old company. 5 decade is very, very old. Now that also testament to the overall longevity, existence of SAP company. Most of IT companies are like 5 year, 10 years. Contracts to that, SAP has been in the marketplace for 5 decades. You will see 75,000 employee approximately. That is one of the largest software company in the world. In fact, it's the fifth largest software company in the world. and first largest in Europe. You will see a lot of these numbers: 291,000 customers, 190 country. What does it mean? That basically means if you make a list of Fortune 2000 companies in the world, anywhere in the world, all these Pepsis and Coca-Colas and Apples and Samsungs and Verizons and all that, 90% of those companies use SAP. So any significant company anywhere in the world which you see around, you will find that company use SAP. And then this is being used in more than 190 countries. So that basically means you may be in US, you may be in Europe, you may be in Asian country, you may be in African country, wherever you are, SAP is relevant because it has a global presence. Now, one thing which comes pretty often, and a lot of people do ask about is, what is SAP S/4HANA? Because that question obviously do come quite often. So what is SAP S/4HANA? So if we look at this picture here, so this picture which you see at your screen describe what is SAP S/4HANA. So, and here we have defining four pillars of four fundamental incarnations of SAP. Okay. So here we have something in 1979 we came with SAP R2. Okay. And SAP R2 basically means two-layer architecture. It was introduced in 1979. Then this product evolved to R3. R3 means three-layer architecture. So R3 means three-layer architecture. And that was introduced in 1992. Then in 2004 came with ECC. ECC basically means Enterprise Central Component. And now the newest version is called S/4HANA, which was introduced in 2015. So S/4HANA is nothing but the fourth generation and the next generation ERP. Same product getting evolved. So it's like, window 11, window 10, window 8, window XP, window this, window that. It's the same window, different versions. So SAP S/4HANA is the same product, but obviously some changes, some enhancements, certain functions which are different in this module. So that is why we have a SAP S/4HANA, which we have in SAP space. Okay. So SAP R2, then came R3, came SAP ECC, and then came SAP S/4HANA, which is the latest and the greatest version of SAP ERP. Now, let us coming back to the picture where SAP Sales and Distribution module fit into all this. So now let's look at this picture very carefully. Very, very carefully, if you look at this picture, if you see what does this picture basically means. So if you look at it here, and so that is basically tells us how SAP, um, and here we can define there's a green color, there's a red color, there's a purple color, and there's yellow color. Now this is how SAP ERP is constructed. That is how the various aspect of SAP comes into the picture. So here in the green is all the different modules like sales and distribution, materials management, production planning, quality management, plant maintenance. In the red color are various financial modules, very financial accounting, controlling, fixed asset, project system, and when we have a HR, human resources. And then purple color and are basically various technical aspects which we have in SAP space. And so we basically, if we look at it here, and we can define that SAP works on client-server architecture, and SAP is written in a programming language that is called ABAP, Advanced Business Application Programming, ABAP 4. Now let me log into SAP. First and foremost, how do we log into SAP? So if you see on the screen, there is something called SAP Logon, and then you hit Logon button. You enter your ID, you enter your password, and then you can log in. Then, if you want to log off, then you go to System, log off. And if you have multiple windows, you can log off from all of them. So log in and log off. So if you want to log off, hit enter, ID, password, and okay. And that basically means that is how SAP. Now, look at my screen carefully. So if you see there's a green, there's a logistic. So if you hear there's a logistic, and then there are different modules in the logistic where we have a modules like materials management. We have a sales and distribution, logistic execution, production process, plant maintenance, customer service, quality management, controlling, etc., etc. Then you have all these different accounting. So these are all with different financial suite. And then you will see here there is a HR. And then we have a various reports, information system. And if you want to run various kind of report related to sales and distribution, you can run different reports. So SAP has a inbuilt reporting platform in SAP. Now, apart from the information system, here, one thing which we have to look at here is, if you look at the slide, so this is called SAP Diamond, maybe because it's a diamond shape. So green is logistic, red is finance, yellow is HR, and then purple color. And then we have client sub architecture, and it works into SAP ABAP 4. And there is a complete extension here, which basically means that basically we can, and you see the empty boxes. So in empty boxes, we have a different aspect of empty boxes here. So if we see that here, there is a, why we have these empty boxes? Because whatever there in the box, all that can further be extended. So like what is the SD or MM or APP or QM, you can further extend all those functions. So now if you see here, and now how do we extend? There are two different ways. So if you go to tools, then here we have a ABAP workbench. In the ABAP workbench, you can write ABAP editor, or you can do the ABAP programming, and that's where the ABAP editor come into the picture. You're not becoming a programmer, but if somebody is a programmer, then that person can do programming from here. Okay. Then another thing which we have here is, which we call it customization. Now, when we are learning any SAP module, then what do we learn? What do we learn? We learn two things. One, what is there in that module? So in that module, what kind of functions are there? And that is the one thing which we learn. And the second thing which we learn is basically how can be configuration. How can we configure different configuration is not programming. is a parameterization. Now, how do we do the configuration? And that is why there's empty boxes here. This means all these different modules which are there, all these modules can be further extended. So if you go to IMG and here go to SPRO, okay, and here we go to SAP reference IMG. Okay. In SAP reference IMG, and that is where we do the display IMG. In this IMG, what do we want to do? Okay, and here we have a different configuration. This is the configuration. That is another thing which we learn. This is another important thing which we learn. Okay, and now here we can have all these different functions which are there in SAP space. And so we can define then various configuration of sales and distribution, master data. You can do configuration of basic functions. You can do configuration in sales and shipping, all these different configuration. So that is another important part of our learning. Now, coming back to what is SAP SD module is. So now let's look at this picture. And in this picture, we can have, various functions and where we can define, and look at this picture carefully and you see the colors here. So there's a yellow color, there's a purple color, there's a red color, there's a blue color. Now these colors which you see, these colors basically demonstrates, these colors basically expresses how SAP is basically constructed in SAP space. So here it is various master data. If you look at it, if I log in, and if you see here, if you go to logistic, and within the logistic, there's a sales and distribution module. And the very first thing which you have a master data. In the master data, they're different, your customers, your vendors, your products, your prices, your price list, etc. Then the second thing which is there is functionality of processes. Look at here. So all the functionalities of SAP Sales and Distribution module are divided into 4 categories: pre-sales, sales, delivery, billing. Now let's check it here. So here, if you go to, in the sale, there's inquiry, quotation, sales order, agreement, contracts, back orders, etc. These are the various sales document types which are there in SAP space. Okay, that is what this basically means. Okay, and then here we can define all the different functions as a part of SAP space. So, and here we can coordinate and control some of the functions in SAP space. And so here we can have define all these, and then we go back after that. So there is a delivery. If you look at it here, then there is a shipping and transportation, where we get a product and where we various shipping products which are there in SAP space. So here we can have outbound delivery, we can have a picking, packing, loading, shipment, etc., etc., etc. So that is where we have a different shipping and transportation. And then here we can also have different type of, so billing. Now let's understand. So there is a billing. So now let's understand the flow. And let's take an example. Let's take a business example. So let's say my company making item, my company making television, right? And there is a requirement, and there is a pre-sales. Okay, pre-sales is basically where customer calls and inquires. So there's inquiry. So customers say, I saw the advertisement of your television. I'm looking for this product. What does he doing? He's doing inquiry. And after inquiry, the next thing which comes up is quotation. So the next thing is we do quotation. Okay. So we have to do different aspects of quotation. So there's inquiry, and then after customer say, well, I like this. Can you submit me quotation? And then we submit the quotation. And after quotation, customer comes back and decided to place an order. So they can do place an order. We can also create a contract. We can also create some agreements. And after we get an order, then what do? We deliver the product. So that is where in SAP SD module, there's S for sales and D for delivery. And here we have a delivery, picking, packing, transportation, and all the different functions. And after that, once we deliver the product, the next step is that we bill the customer. And that's where the billing, credit note, debit note, and all those different billing transactions come into the picture. Okay. And so that is basically what we do with in the time. Okay. And so that now let us understand in various functions of and how does it works in SAP. So now if you look into how in let's do our exercise. Let's do some exercise in the system so we can see that how it looked like. So we create an inquiry, create a quotation, create a sales order, outbound delivery, picking, goods issue, billing, token flow, and status. So some of these things we will be discussing and talking to. So the very first thing is the sales inquiry. So we come back here. Now the process is start with the inquiry. Somebody says, yeah, I need this material. Can you tell me when it is available? What is the price and all that? That is inquiry. And here, this is the menu path. Everything in SAP is driven from menu path. You will find all transaction in some menu somewhere. This is create inquiry. Or if you see here, there is something called B11. Yes? B11 is a transaction code. This is like a shortcut. So if you type B11 in the command box, and then you reach to the inquiry. And now here in the inquiry, you can put inquiry type, what type of inquiry, which sales department, which different channel, and then we can hit it. So this is I just wanted to do certain exercises in the system so you can get a feel of the system. So here we can go to this customer. So let's say which customer it is. We can select the customer number, account number. This is the number I've created. You can create our exercise also. You can create our customer also. Obviously, all these different exercises and functions we will do. And that is part of our exercises. And then just a minute. So Shant, so we have some people joined in. I hope everyone can hear me. So who we have on the call? Krishna, Susant, Ashish, Komal, Rajesh, Ashu, Supriya, Rohan, Ram, Robert, Sohel, Puneet, Anupam, Prabhakar, Priya, Bharat, Satish, Syed, Phil, Madhav, Ram, Avil, Teja, Nupur, Venkatesh, Sumit, Nayak, Meenal, Tarun, Avinash, guest number 30, Greece, Nagendra, Venkat, Seema, and Ramakant. Thank you, everyone. I hope I have not missed anybody's name. I welcome you to the session. Thank you. Now, coming back to, we were talking about inquiry. Inquiry basically when customer calls and say, I need this material. Which customer? This customer. And then which product? So we want to do this product. Which quantity? So this quantity. Now here, there is also validity period. So like this inquiry is there. Well, this inquiry is valid for, 15th of February. And after that, this inquiry is not valid. It is not being applied. Then we go to and then system tells us what is a quotation order. That's it. And then there is a save button. This is the save button. Then we hit on the save button and see the message on the bottom. Inquiry 1000707. Congratulations. We have done our first exercise. 9,999 left, but one done. And we can make a note of our inquiry. So we learn how to create a simple inquiry. We can make a note of it. This is inquiry number. This is inquiry number. And then when we make an inquiry, the next thing which we do is basically inquiry. And after customer inquire, and then customer calls back and say, can you submit me quotation? I want, quotation to be submitted. So we can discuss, so we can decide. And that is why the next document is a quotation. So if we see here, and if we look at in the flow, and customer asks for a quotation, then we can create a quotation. There's a quotation, VA21, and or we can type VA21 in the command box, and we reach to the same place. Now, this is the foundational cycle of SAP. Therefore, I wanted to make sure that you get not only the theoretical overview of SAP SD module, but you also get a system and overview as well. So that is the region, this comes into, and of that. Okay. And then we go to quotation type, QT, and then we have a 1000, 1000, and then we hit it. Okay. And we go back here. Okay. So that is basically comes into the picture. Okay. So here we have now if you want to create a quotation, I can create a new quotation, or I can create a quotation with reference. So you see the create document, create with reference. Okay. And then we hit enter, and then we copy. Now, so that basically means, and it copies everything. So system knows this is my customer, because the same customer inquire and then ask for a quotation. We can create a quotation with reference to inquiry. We can create a without reference too. And then this is this item, this is the quantity, this is the material. We can say how long this quotation is valid. We can put some date into it, and we can double click on the line item, and we can enter the price. That what is the selling price? So we can say we are, this item which I'm selling to you is for $100, whatever it is. So we can put some amount. So we are giving $100, so that it becomes 1,000. I'm also giving some discount to you, so there's some discount going on. So there's a discount of $300. Then there is a freight amount you're gonna get. So there's a $30 freight, and then system calculate $730. This is called price schema. This is called price schema. This is called price determination. Okay, and that is what this basically means. Okay, and so that basically means, and that is how system. Okay, then basically we can define, and in fact we have a very long multi-hours session only on pricing. The reason I bring it here is that the pricing is very, very important. Okay, and that is where we have a multiple hours class only on pricing. and we go back, and then we save it. So quotation 2000871 has been saved. Congratulations, we have done our second exercise, and 9,998 are left, but 2 done. Now, after sending quotation, understand the flow, understand the business flow. So now, after sending the quotation to customer say, aha, I don't want to place order. Oh, then process ends, nothing happens. Or customer comes back and say, I want to place an order. I like the price, I like a product, and I want to place an order. So then what we do? We place an order. So we go back here, and then we go back to this function. And then here in this function, we can go to sales order, VA01. Okay. And we can select order type OR. Okay. So we can enter order type OR 1000. And now I can create this sales order with reference to quotation. So there's a so create with the reference button. We click on that, and then we enter the quotation number. Now what we are doing, we are creating a sales order with reference to quotation, and we hit copy button. And then what system does is copies everything. It copies my customer, it copies my material, it copies my quantity. If you want to change it, you can change it. It's changeable. So somebody possible that you ask for a quotation for 10 pieces, but place an order for 5 or more or less. So it doesn't mean that whatever we have quoted, customer going to agree to that. Could we agree to that exactly, or maybe more or less too? So we can do that as well. So here we can enter the quantity, and then nothing else we have to do. You have to just hit save button. Now see here, standard order has been saved. What happened? We are able to create a sales order, and then this is the sales order. So we enter the sales order. This is the sales order. Now, after entering the sales order, the next thing which we do is we deliver the product. Okay. We deliver the product. Okay. That is what this basically means. So we got an order, customer placed an order, and now after customer has placed an order, customer come back to us and say that, okay, we can define that here. And so we can define, and in that, and then we enter now the outbound delivery. So we can go back, and then we go to shipping and transportation. We go to and create outbound delivery, hit enter, single document, and this is outbound delivery VL01N. Now here, this is, look at it, create outbound delivery with reference to order. So we get an order, we're telling warehouse people, please ship the product to the customer. And we say which shipping point, which we are living from, which shipping department is responsible for it. And then we say which date we want to do it. So we can choose the date we want. So we say we want to do in this date or what date it is, and we can choose the date. And then we can select, and we have a order quantity. And then we hit it. And that is where we have an outbound delivery. Now in outbound delivery, we have a customer, we have material, quantity. Now look at here, what we have: inquiry, quotation, order, contract, delivery. We deliver. We do the picking. So here, you can do all these different functions here. We can do the picking, loading, transportation. There's whole modules on it. Yeah. Otherwise, course will finish today. It's a little premature. Then we hit enter. We can define the pick quantity, and then we issue the material. So there is a goods issue. So when we do goods issue, that basically means I'm issuing the material to the customer. So we do the goods issue. Now what is next? So what is next here is basically we bill. So customer says, you ask material, we deliver to you, and now we are billing. So there is a billing document. Okay. So we can go back. Click onto it, and then we have billing here, billing document, and then we have a VF01. Okay. So here we have VF01. Okay. So here we can enter all those different documents. And here we have a billing doc. Then we hit enter. And then we save it. Now we bill the customer. Okay. We bill the customer. Now after we bill the customer, and we want to see, and then if you want to see the doc flow, there is something called document flow here. And that is what we have. So we create an inquiry, quotation, sales order, delivery, picking, post-good issue, invoice. These are different dates, which is January 29th, and these are the statuses. This is the entire end-to-end flow. If I want to select the order, and then if we want to see the status overview, I can see different statuses as well. This is the reporting. So this was the order on this customer, nothing rejected, completed, fully delivered. In quantity also, we can see the status, fully invoiced, fully delivered, quantity, nothing left, delivery, nothing left. So we can see the in-depth status of the document. And if I want to go to, and one thing which I want to explain here is what is the whole end-to-end learning process. Okay. Now for that, I wanted to go to the website. So you're very welcome to visit the website. Our website is www.mythinktree.com. Right? And in this website, we have a so here we have various live courses. So this is the live courses. And then we have a live classes. If you go to live classes, live courses, then we have all these different modules. So this is the course we are talking about. So we put all information online. This is easy for the people to follow. Right? So this is SAP SD plus LE plus S4HANA plus advanced topic. Okay. It is a level 3 expert level training. What are the silent features? So silent feature are, and if you see here, if I can refresh this page, so it's a 4-step process. Step number 1, step number 2, step number 3, step number 4. Step number 1 is training. Step number 2, training assessment. Step number 3, resume preparation, marketing placement. Step number 4, assisting when you get a job. So course is 10 weeks program, about 80 hours of actual hour and content and video. You will get it from me. Okay. So we basically, and here we can have training happens Saturday and Sunday, some class on weekends as well, like this one. And then this course will prepare you for these 4 certifications. This is certification number 1. This is the certification number 2, certification number 3, certification number 4. So this course will prepare you for these 4 certifications. That is what we have described here, these various certifications. Now, if you go back here, you can also see it is also linked with you can go to training.sap.com, and I put in benchmark directly with the SAP website. So this is the content. So you know, like what is the content and all that. So you can see the different content as well. And this is the website. If you want to browse and training.sap.com, so I put a link here as well. And then, so this is the 1, 2, 3, 4. You get SAP Server Access for 12 months for every student. We provide video recording for every session after class for 12 months. And you have video recording with you. You get a training material. Okay. And so in the training material in the PDF form will be provided by us. You get a training assignment and homework. And if you're in New Jersey, so classroom is in New Jersey, US. So if you're local here, you want to come, you're welcome to come, visit, and attend class in person also. Step number 2 is the training assessment. So once training is finished, we also offer training assessment services as well. So where we can do your 3-mark interview, we verify your homework and assignment. Every student can re-attend my class for 1 year. So every student can attend the class for 1 year time frame. Every student. Step number 3 is resume preparation, marketing, and placement. Okay, so assist in preparing a professional resume as per the industry standard. Our recruitment team will market you and assist you in getting a job placement. And step number 4, on-job support. And then you can enroll. So there's enroll now also. If you want to know the fees and all that, then there's a course fees. Then these are the different fees and all that which has been structured. Now, one more thing. So here, if you go to open the link. So I have a YouTube channel. And if you go to YouTube and put Think Technologies, put my name, and then there are various videos which are available, and you guys can watch a lot of these videos which I have past many years. Okay, so these are the various videos. More than 13 years now I've been running it, and there are 112 videos which are available on site. Okay, so with that, I will take a pause, and if you have any questions, please do let me know. There's a question section here. You can utilize that, and I will be more than happy. Now, one more thing. As I mentioned in the beginning, 973-885-7245. This is my US number. You can call me WhatsApp if you're outside the US. It's my email address. So I'm available to you for 101 counseling also. Many people want to talk to me and talk to me directly. You're welcome. You want to email it to me? Welcome. You want to WhatsApp me? Welcome. Okay. And if you're interested in a directly 101 session with me, you can email it to me, and I will schedule a 101 session with you all. So that way, we can talk directly as well. I'm available to you. So with that, if you have any questions, you can utilize question section, and I will be more than happy to assist and answer. Okay. Is my voice coming to you all? Can you guys hear me? All of you? Thank you very much. Very much. Thank you. Thank you. So there's a question section. If you want to raise a question, you're welcome. If not, that is also understandable. You can email it to me. Let me publish my number 973-885-7245. This is my US number. It's a WhatsApp number. dsad at mythinkty.com. This is my email address, and you're very welcome to make a note of my email, and you're very welcome to make a note of my phone number as well. Okay. So with that, if there is no question, then I will conclude this session here. And with that, thank you. I'm looking forward. I really appreciate you all coming to the session and listening to the session. When this going to start the Saturday or still not coming? This is the today is the class, Priya. So technically it is started already today, because today also I did my theory, I did my exercises. So it actually started today already. You can enroll, you can start doing exercises, you can get a training material and PDF, and you start practicing, you start doing exercises as we did in the class today. Okay. Yeah, we will continue. As a US registration, how the fees different? So there are different fees for different uh, statuses. So, and fees is there on our website. We charge less fees to the student. So if somebody is a student, we charge less fee to the student because they are students. Where we'll get a recording for today, we'll send it to you recording. Okay. What is the time for this Saturday class? 11 o'clock. Is there on fees and all that is there on our website. So if you have mentioned, so course training fees are here on this page. So if you go to our website, live courses, and then if you see SDLE plus S4HANA advanced topics, so this we have all this course curriculum, and then we click onto it, and if you scroll down, if you want to enroll, you can enroll now. So Priya, you can enroll now and pay the fees, and this is where we have the fees. Okay, very good. Thank you. Anybody, any questions? We'll send you a recording of the today's session to all of you. If you miss, some of people came late and all that. So after that, we'll send you two things. We'll send it to you a video recording, and we will also send it to you all certification or participation. So by today, we'll send it to you these two things. And my number is there, so you're very welcome to call me. So, and I really appreciate you all coming to this session. So thank you very much. And appreciate all your time. So if you came late, if you missed the session or not, everybody will get a video recording, which I will send it today. So if there is no further question, then I think we can conclude. Okay, so there's one question. Thank you. You're very welcome. So thank you very much. Priya, you start, doing these exercises and all that as well, which I did today, um, and watch this video. Um, so all my classes, I do theory, I do exercises. It's a combination of them, including today's class. So each one of you can log into the system, and you can start doing exercises in the system. What I did today was a core SAP Sales and Distribution in uh, Foundation end-to-end cycle. Okay. Thank you very much. I think there is no question further now. So if that is the case, I will conclude the session, and we will continue next week. Thank you. Thank you very much.